Imagine life as a winding path shrouded in fog. You trudge ahead, but the way forward seems uncertain and full of obstacles. Struggling to see, you get lost in overthinking each step. But as the fog lifts, the path becomes clear and straight. What seemed complicated is now simple and direct. This metaphor captures the essence of how following Stoic wisdom can cut through the fog clouding our lives. Stoicism guides us to clarity amidst confusion. By internalizing its lessons, we gain the vision to simplify and streamline our approach on the journey of life. In this video, we'll highlight 15 Stoic keys for uncomplicating existence and getting back to what matters most. These powerful principles help remove distractions, excess, and false perceptions. They illuminate what is essential versus non-essential. Embracing them allows us to flow through life with focus, purpose, and ease. No longer wasting energy on the immaterial and trivial, we rediscover the tranquil joy of simply being, fully present and engaged in each moment. Thank you all for watching and enjoy. Number 1. Embrace the power of silence. One way to stop overcomplicating your life is to embrace the power of silence. As Stoics, we recognize that not everything needs to be said or explained. Often we feel compelled to fill every moment with words, to explain and justify ourselves endlessly. But this habit tends to complicate matters rather than simplify them. Instead, practice embracing silence more often. Refrain from always having to verbalize your every thought and feeling. You don't need to narrate your every action and intention. Sit quietly with yourself, without feeling the need to speak. Appreciate the calm and clarity that silence can bring. Silence allows your mind to process and reflect, rather than constantly reacting. It creates space for your own inner wisdom to emerge, rather than getting caught up in excessive verbal rumination. Speaking less helps streamline communication and interactions. You let go of the unnecessary chatter and focus on what truly matters. So pay attention to when you may be over-explaining or providing too much unneeded context. Ask yourself if remaining silent may be the wiser choice. See the power in saying less and conveying more through the eloquence of silence. Let silence help strip away the complicated layers of life and reveal the simple essence that Stoics seek. Number 2. Cultivate productive laziness. It's easy to fill each day with endless tasks, chores, and other busy work. We overcomplicate our lives by constantly trying to be productive in a shallow sense, but much of this busyness is just clutter, not truly meaningful or essential work. As Stoics, we can cultivate what's been called productive laziness. This means distinguishing between activities that genuinely advance your goals versus just keeping busy for its own sake. Learn to recognize pointless busyness and have the courage to say no to low-value activities. Don't just default to your daily routine without thinking. Regularly evaluate how you spend your time. Ask yourself, is this the best use of my limited time and energy? Does it align with my deepest values? Or am I just trying to look and feel busy? Give yourself permission to do less and create more open space in your days. Use your time wisely for what matters most. Master the art of purposeful laziness rather than frenetic activity. Let your mind and spirit relax and reboot through productive laziness. Resist the temptation of complication for its own sake. Just because you can fill your schedule with tasks doesn't mean you should. Discern between meaningful work and empty busyness. Then your life can become simpler, guided by purpose. Number 3. Practice intellectual humility. The philosopher Socrates famously said, "I know that I know nothing." This phrase embodies intellectual humility, recognizing the limits of our knowledge and letting go of ego-driven claims to certainty. Practicing this mindset can greatly reduce unnecessary complications we create in our lives. When we think we know everything, we tend to pontificate endlessly to bolster that sense of intellectual arrogance. We make definitive proclamations about things that are actually uncertain or ambiguous. This over-explaining and overthinking breeds complexity. But when we humbly admit that our knowledge is limited, we become less attached to our opinions. We avoid getting entangled in endless mental loops trying to be right. Instead of monologues, we have dialogues. We ask questions rather than make declarations. We acknowledge that our perspective is one of many. This intellectual humility creates openness and mental spaciousness. It streamlines our thinking and conversations, focusing on seeking truth rather than being right. We let go of the need to constantly explain and justify ourselves. We recognize an issue's nuance rather than immediately complicating it with black and white thinking. Practicing "I know that I know nothing" allows us to keep things simple. We become less pretentious about our knowledge. We make room for learning and growth rather than closing off that possibility through arrogant certainty. With humility, we simplify rather than overcomplicate life. Number 4. Treat life as play. Often we overcomplicate life by being too serious and grimly determined to tackle every challenge. But we can simplify things tremendously by instead embracing a spirit of playfulness. Approach your goals, work, and struggles with a light-hearted sense of play. Have fun with the process, rather than just fixating on the outcome. Be creative in finding playful ways to reframe mundane or difficult tasks. See life as your playground, not your prison. Bring a sense of humor and levity to your daily interactions. Don't take yourself too seriously. Let go of perfectionism and appreciate the inherent messiness of life. When you make a mistake, treat it as an opportunity to learn and grow, not a source of shame. Experiment and be willing to fail. Success is not the opposite of failure. Both are part of the same playful process of learning through experience. Play sparks our imagination and reduces our tendency to overthink things. It's hard to be anxious and playful at the same time. Play relieves mental congestion and clutter, keeping things fluid and focused on the present. So seek out more ways to incorporate play into your work, relationships, and self-care. Let your inner child come out and remind you to keep things simple. Life is meant to be played with, not problematized. Number 5. Embrace imperfection. We often overcomplicate life by chasing after an illusion of perfection. We fixate on flaws and beat ourselves up endlessly for not meeting unrealistic standards. This fuels an exhausting sense of complexity and inadequacy, but as Stoics, we can simplify life by embracing imperfection in ourselves, others, and the world around us. Accept that flaws are inevitable and find beauty in them. See each one as a potential teacher, not as something to criticize. Remember that everything in life is impermanent: our bodies, relationships, possessions, even our moods. Do not cling to or over-identify with passing things. Accept the natural cycles of growth and decay. When you mess up, avoid harsh self-judgment. Reflect on what you can learn and then let it go. Extend the same compassion to others' shortcomings. Relax impossible expectations. Progress, not perfection, can be your aim. Approach life's ups and downs with equanimity, neither resisting nor grasping after them. Find harmony in the wholeness that includes both joy and sorrow. Even injuries can carry wisdom if you're open to it. By embracing imperfection, you simplify your relationship to life. Perfectionism is relinquished, lightening your mental load. You flow with life's messy beauty rather than fighting against it. With wisdom and grace, you unlock simplicity. Number 6. Cultivate selective ignorance. It's easy to get overwhelmed by information overload in the digital age. We complicate life by trying to stay on top of every news story, trending topic, notification, etc. But we can simplify by cultivating selective ignorance. Be more conscious about what information you take in and engage with. Not everything deserves your limited attention. Be selective. Turn off notifications and avoid mindlessly checking your devices. Limit time on social media. Unsubscribe from information sources of low value. Discern what knowledge really serves your goals and values versus just being distracting clutter. Depth of understanding is more important than breadth. You don't need to have an opinion on everything. It's okay not to know what's trending or the latest viral story. You don't have to be constantly stimulated. Don't feel pressure to stay up to date on everything. Limit information intake to nurture your inner world. Regularly clear your mental space of clutter. Decrease noise to increase signal. Simplify your life by being more intentional about what you consume. Say no to low-quality content. Ignore the merely sensational, outrageous, or trivial. Seek truth over distraction. Direct your precious attention only toward information that adds value. By cultivating selective ignorance, you reclaim sovereignty over your mind and time. You engage only with knowledge that serves your purpose, filtering out the rest. A Stoic oasis of calm and focus grows. Number 7. Practice radical honesty. We often overcomplicate life by lacking honesty, with others or ourselves. We avoid difficult truths and hide behind white lies. But embracing radical honesty can profoundly simplify life. Be ruthlessly truthful with yourself about your shortcomings and unhealthy patterns. Don't rationalize bad habits. Stare them down with raw self-awareness. Equally, acknowledge your strengths without ego. Clarify your core values. In relationships, speak openly and compassionately, even if it means challenging conversations. Don't let resentment or assumptions accumulate. Address problems early before they escalate. Offer feedback to help others, not to punish them. Simplify your decision-making by getting all facts on the table, not just convenient ones. Admit what you don't know rather than posturing. Ask others for their authentic perspectives to broaden your view. There may be short-term discomfort in radical honesty, but in the long run, it greatly reduces complications, enabling you to live and relate with full integrity. There is elegance in truth, uncompromised by pretense. So vow to live honestly and openly. Let go of needing to protect your image. Have the courage to be disliked for the right reasons. Clarity and purpose will come when your life aligns with truth. Number 8. Embrace the absurd. We often overcomplicate life by trying to be overly rational and seeking to resolve every contradiction or paradox. But as the philosopher Albert Camus said, it's our human fate to live in an absurd world that defies complete logical sense. Rather than getting tangled in impossible philosophical knots, learn to embrace the absurd, all the irony, irrationality, and uncertainty inherent to life. Accept that not everything needs to make perfect sense or align with your expectations. See the humor in life's absurdity. Be willing to laugh at your own seriousness and how we assign grave meaning to passing things. Feel the poignancy of our strange existence. Live with imagination and curiosity, not just cold reason. Make space for awe and mystery. Don't constantly second-guess or analyze experiences. Immerse yourself in them. Embracing the absurd opens up freedom. You let go of chasing a perfect, predictable, orderly life. You roll with the chaotic movements of existence. Moment to moment, you live fully without needing absolute answers. So release excessive seriousness about petty things. Explore life's contradictions with playfulness, not angst. When you embrace the absurd, You find simplicity and grace on the other side of complexity. Number 9. Cultivate a philosophy of enough. It's easy to overcomplicate life by constantly striving for more money, possessions, status, experiences, etc. We spin in dissatisfaction thinking if we just had a little more, we'd be happy. But as Stoics, we can simplify life by cultivating a philosophy of enough. This means pausing to appreciate when you already have sufficient resources for your well-being. Recognize when enough is enough. Take stock of what you have rather than focusing on lack. Feel gratitude for your health, loved ones, knowledge, opportunities. See the abundance that surrounds you. Happiness resides in contentment, not a never-ending pursuit of excess. Question whether you really need something new just because you want it. Consume mindfully without cluttering your life. Savor what you have rather than rushing toward the next thing. Live moderately without depriving yourself. Strike a balance between meeting needs and indulging every fleeting desire. When you have enough, you're free, not constantly chasing or worrying about money. So make peace with enough. Simplicity and joy can be found there. Keep your life unburdened by rejecting materialism and social comparison. Fulfillment arises when you feel satisfied, not satiated. Number 10. Practice mental subtraction. We cling to possessions, people, privileges. Complications arise from trying to hold on to what is impermanent. A powerful Stoic practice is mental subtraction. Regularly imagine losing what you cherish, your home, job, loved ones, abilities like sight and mobility. Vividly see it gone. This may seem morbid, but it cultivates deep appreciation for what you have. You break the entitlement mindset and see life's gifts as precious and fleeting. Each moment with loved ones becomes more meaningful. Mental subtraction also reduces greed and restlessness. You realize you can be content with a simple life because even basic goods like shelter and health are blessings. Of course, maintain gratitude without complacency. Don't actually wish loss upon yourself or others. Use subtraction to motivate making wise use of the present. Make this practice a regular reset to simplify your mindset. Imagine going through life with less and find beauty in that simplicity. With less to lose, liberation is gained. Number 11. Embrace beginner's mind. Without realizing it, we force new experiences into old mental frameworks. But adopting a beginner's mind can help simplify life. As Stoics, we can practice seeing everything as if for the first time. Drop your accumulated assumptions and past impressions and experience life with fresh eyes. Don't get stuck in rigid thought patterns. Be open to surprises, reversals, paradoxes, anything that challenges your worldview. Let go of judgments and certainties. Rediscover childlike awe and curiosity. With beginner's mind, even familiar people and places shine in new light. The mundane becomes magical, the ordinary extraordinary. You notice details previously overlooked. Each moment feels like a gift when received with presence. Let go of cynicism and boredom by engaging the world as a learner. Empty your cup so you can truly taste life's richness. Stay humble and ask questions rather than just assuming you know things. Beginner's mind simplifies everything. Unburdened by preconceived notions, you can discern reality and respond appropriately without overcomplicating matters. With openness, wonder, and discovery, wisdom unfolds. Number 12. Cultivate ethical hedonism. The Stoic view is one of ethical hedonism, enjoying life's joys while also being responsible. Don't repress your desires. Experience pleasure fully through the senses. Delight in good food, music, nature's beauty, stimulating ideas, intimacy. Happiness comes through mindful enjoyment of life's bounty, but pursue pleasure wisely, not mindlessly. Ask yourself, does this choice align with my values? Will it enrich my life in the long run? Avoid just choosing what's expedient or instantly gratifying. Ensure your actions don't harm others. Consider how your choices impact your family, community, the environment. Uphold ethics while allowing yourself to feel pleasure. Also, care for your future self. Make choices that lead to long-term eudaimonia, not just fleeting fun followed by regret. Enjoy the present while also planting seeds for tomorrow. Ethical hedonism simplifies life. No false dichotomy between dreary self-denial and reckless indulgence. With wisdom and care, you can delight in the fullness of each moment. Number 13. Practice memento mori. Take time to meditate deeply on the fact that you will die. It's an inevitable and unpredictable part of life. Imagine yourself on your deathbed looking back. What will you wish you had focused on? Remembering the fragility of existence helps you detach from ego-based fears and desires. You stop sweating the small stuff and wasting time on things of no real importance. Death awareness cultivates gratitude for being alive. Contemplate how you want to spend your limited days. Identify what brings you meaning and align your actions accordingly. Let go of resentments. Forgive others and yourself. Memento mori simplifies your priorities, stripping away all that's inessential. With death in mind, you gain wisdom on what merits your limited time and energy. You live in service of your highest values. Reflect often on mortality. This life is precious because fleeting. In awareness of death, you find liberation to live fully and sincerely. Number 14. Embrace the via negativa. Regularly examine what you can subtract from your life. Useless possessions, unfulfilling work, negative relationships, unwise habits, needless activities. Clean out clutter from your schedule. Drop pointless arguments and perfectionism. Remove distractions and trivial information from your focus. Practice saying no to protect your time and energy. Subtract it to regain clarity and control. This creates space for what truly nourishes you to naturally expand. Life is simplified more through letting go than grasping. Reduce and simplify to return to your essence. Eliminate clutter so you can see the beautiful simplicity waiting underneath. So regularly declutter your life via negativa. As Michelangelo sculpted David by chipping away excess marble, reduce and simplify to reveal your masterpiece within. Number 15. Cultivate philosophical pessimism. Rather than hoping for the best, brace yourself for things to go wrong and people to be undependable. Don't be surprised when challenges arise or others disappoint you. Expect imperfection as the natural way of the world. Lowering your expectations does not mean giving up hope or becoming negative. It simply reduces clinginess and attachments that breed suffering when unmet. You welcome positives when they happen, but don't demand them. When you expect difficulties as normal, you stop exaggerating problems. You respond with more flexibility and calmness rather than dramatizing. Equanimity comes when you accept life's ups and downs. Pessimism relieves the complications of perfectionism and entitlement. You stop wasting energy on outrage over inevitabilities. With lower expectations, the present moment shines. So relax impossible standards. Make peace with uncertainty. Expect flaws, and you'll often be pleasantly surprised. In lowering demands, contentment is raised.